As people quarantine themselves inside, the Asian Giant Hornet is making news outside, dubbed by headlines across the country as the Murder Hornet.
In Japan, people have lived with them for years, and they coexist.
With one nest found in British Columbia, Canada, and two similar specimens found in Washington in early November, retired entomologist for the American Museum of Natural History, Louis Sorkin, explained how the Asian Giant Hornet traveled halfway across the world.
Some insects, come on commercial shipments by accident. A new queen could fly into a wooden cabinet case box, kind of thing. They get transported over, and then it flies out.
So why are these hornets called murder hornets? A few dozen people in Japan died as a result of their potent stinger last year. With a bright orange head and brown antennas, they grow up to 2 inches in length, and their wingspan reaches up to 3 inches. With 100 to 1,000 members in a nest, the hornet needs a substantial amount of protein to provide for their larvae. The species feeds on grasshoppers, caterpillars, praying mantis, and honeybees.
So they're actually pretty good biological control agents, too.
However, beekeepers around the country are not thrilled with the hornet's arrival. The species can massacre a honeybee hive within a matter of hours. In order to eliminate this threat, beekeepers placed monitors around the country in order to trap the hornets. Sorkin explained how this could harm other insects.
So it's really a problem if people overreact, trying to see if they're worried about this and having all these monitors out. You're collecting beneficial insects in those monitors where there's no need to bother about it.
Sorkin believes the hornets do not pose a real threat to the country, but, similar to most hives, people need to be cautious when approaching them.
People should be taking the same precautions, with any stinging insect, is that don't bother them when they're on the nest. If you see them on a nest, don't go over and start hitting it. They'll just come out and sting because you're, being aggressive toward their home.
Despite their intimidating aesthetic, Sorkin shared that the hornets make a tasty treat for those living in Japan.
Because even in Japan, there's a wasp keeper society. There's a few organizations where the members, would go out and collect the nests and keep them, raise them, and then it's just like an agricultural commodity like chickens or sheep or cattle or something.
Reporting for Bronxnet, Jericho Tran.